So we are now homeless and without a vehicle. Just sold our vehicle on Caravana and getting ready for our flights tomorrow. So we're pretty excited, right?
Yeah, very excited. I'm just tired.
It's been several long nights.
Hello, beautiful people of the world. Welcome back to Familia Pablanu. I am the one and only Anu.
Yo soy Pablo, solamente Pablo.
All of you who have been following us on this journey, we say thank you so much. We appreciate you. If you're a new subscriber, thank you. Welcome to our channel. We hope you like, share, and we appreciate all your support. And please don't skip ads. We appreciate it. We are finally telling you about that. What it took to migrate. Cross-continental immigration.
Mama Africa, your children are home.
Guys, so we arrived in Uganda almost 2 years ago.
Emigrating is one thing, right?
Yeah.
Leaving your country is one thing, or leaving where you've been living for a long time, right? That is one big process. And that doesn't even include then the travel, arrival, and preparation to settle in another country. That's immigration, that's another thing. So just emigrating is a lot, and that's where most of the work comes in.
Yeah,
So without further ado, let's
begin.
That.
So the first step is making a decision on where you want to end up.
Right, where are you going?
How did we end up here? Like, how did we decide that Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, is where we're going?
If you want to know more about that, you can see our video where we talked about some of the details related to that. But essentially, we want to ultimately be sustainable. We're like
organic,
the goal.
plant-based foods, you know, something. So we need somewhere where we can grow it all year round, not hindered by
And
winter.
tropical.
Yeah, tropical foods, you know.
So the only places in the US that are tropical are like Florida and southern Texas. And if you know anything about the United States, you know that those areas are very dangerous for many reasons. And then Southern California, you got fires. So it's just like, well, you can't get a visa as a subsistence farmer. Most of the time when you're doing long-term visas, pretty much anywhere in the world, you don't apply for those first. First, you have to get on the ground in the country, either with a special visa or with a visa on arrival or with a tourist visa in our case.
Right.
And then while you're there, you can extend it. But while you're there, you're working on your long-term visas. And so that was the plan.
Yeah. So
And we were also put in contact by a friend via Facebook, a Facebook group, who's been very, very helpful, Nathaniel, and he actually put us in contact with a gentleman here who helped him with his visas and was a friend of his, and he helped us understand that, okay, you have to start a business first, then you have to do this, you have to do that, this is what these are going to cost you, all this kind of stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, there's a lot, but we're like, okay, all right, we can do it. So we were planning on that, but then I was like, hey, what about, because I was a professor at a university there in Indiana, and I said, why not this thing that I've been looking at every year and trying to convince you, what if we take the family for a year and I go on this fellowship and we go to Nigeria or Togo or somewhere, and you always turn me down. But, well, what if I apply for that, but in Uganda, because they have a small like Spanish program that's in Kampala, in Makerere University actually, and I was like, what if I apply for that? If we get that, and if we've already sold our house and everything, and we're already planning on staying there, and we just don't tell anyone, I could be working there and getting a pretty good salary while we're there, you know, and it would give us a chance to have like a soft landing. We'd be able to get a sense of what it's like living, you know. But the problem is we were going to be in Kampala the whole time. But anyways,
I'm glad it didn't. It fell through. But anyways, so that was
that was plan A. It was like, that would be awesome. We could get funding. We could, you know, have a soft landing. Family, especially our Nigerian family, would not be as worried about us because he has salary, he has a job. So we're like, okay, 2 birds with one stone, and also it kept us from having to tell family that
we're going permanently, because they would say, oh, it's just for 1 year. That is still okay. We're still okay with that.
We had to kind of do bit by bit like that. So
and then
our plan B was, okay, we just take the money that we have and we try to set up our own business. We try to set up our own thing there from scratch.
And
not
then,
ideal to go, you know, that way immediately, but it was our plan B.
And we had to go with plan B because plan A fell through. We had a year to plan.
Yes, we decided a year early.
So this whole year you were still working at your job as a professor. So we were planning, researching, okay, how, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is a self-sustainability. I'm like, everything sustainability was in my mind. We started writing lists of things that we would need to bring.
So,
It's
I mean, there was a lot
now.
of things to think of in general, right? There's the idea of, okay, taking stock of what you have, your assets, if you have equity, like in your house or your vehicle, things like that, you have to make sure, okay, what do we have? Do we have enough equity? Do we have enough things like that? Because like most Americans, not a whole lot of savings, especially if you have children, you know, so you're just going paycheck to paycheck type thing. It doesn't matter what kind of job you have. And so anyways, so that's what we had to look into. And then once we said, okay, this is how much we might have. Okay, so what can we do with that? And then you see what you can do with it. You see how much, you know, visas cost. You see how much flights cost. You see all those sort of things. So you have to be looking at everything. You have to see, okay, what do we have to sell? When do we have to start working that? What do we have to...
So we had a year. We had a year to plan. And when we thought about the equity, we looked into it and we were like, okay, we have a certain amount of time. It will give us enough time before we have to go. So we put the house on sale. So we looked at the visa process. We started applying and all the requirements. We looked into it. Okay, you have to get yellow fever vaccine. Yeah, we did the requirements.
Yeah.
Then
so we had to plan that out because it's like certain vaccines you can only get within like 30 days or 90 days of leaving, stuff like that. So you have to plan all of these things out.
So here we are. It's almost 8 a.m. And we are about to head into a clinic to get our yellow fever vaccines. So, woohoo! All of us are heading out now to get a vaccine. We haven't eaten yet. We'll eat when we get back. Health and wellness. So we're immunization travel clinic. And my jacket, what do you eat? Do mine too. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
And needing to get passports because our children didn't have passports
That's
at that
true.
time.
Yeah, and we had to get them Nigerian passports because we're like, they're going to Uganda. I don't know if they'll have a embassy there to get a passport there.
Right. So we had to get you as well. We had to renew
expired.
yours.
Mine
We had
expired.
to renew yours. And that's when we discovered that you needed an NIN, which was a new requirement. And then we had to get those for the children. So that was a whole experience, which you can watch the video on that as well.
Yeah.
How to get
And Nigerian
passports for yourself, your children, etc. It was a long process, but it was worth it, I think. It was worth it, yeah.
Then, we got American passport for them too. Yeah, that one was easy. We went to the post office. It was there.
It's easy when you're in the U.S.
4 weeks, 5 weeks. Oh, yeah.
Because we're trying to get days right now. And that's not easy.
A big process. We plan out, okay, this is how much we'll get for the house and whatnot. So we plan to put the house on sale at a certain time before we go. And we've already decided this is time we're going. We're going at the end of May. So which means we started doing renovations in this house in order to put it for sale. Let's go to the back room. This is the back room. The air fryer is going on right now. We have the washer dryer, and if we go here, we have the washing sink, and you can see our our nice backyard from the lot of window space around here. It's so nice, isn't it? So nice. Anyways, now if we go back into the third room over here, it's empty. Woohoo! You can hear the echo actually. Anyways, this room is empty. I'm so happy it's empty. Let's keep going. Bawoni, let me show you the dining room. This is the dining room. That painting is staying. We have a lot of things to give away still as well. And this is the second room. It's not quite it's empty except for the sleeping pack and play, which we will have to donate before we go, as well as this chair belongs into the van. We will have to put it in there before we go. Lena. Now let's go. Let me lock this thing. Babani. And this is the living room. The living room is very spacious, the biggest room in the house. Been sleeping on the floor for a while now. Let's see. It's so spacious and it's so nice. Look at our fireplace right there. Let me show you the bedroom. The main bedroom is over here, where we have a lot of all the luggages. So those are the luggages. We are still arranging a lot of these things, making sure they fit. And we have all of our junk in this house.
Yeah.
We're one of those Americans, you know, with the, what do you call it? Collecting.
Always got your Amazon buys.
Amazon buys.
And, oh, what was
And
it?
Aldi buys.
Aldi finds. If you know Aldi, it's like Lidl. It's a supermarket and they have all these little
So we have a
trinkets
lot of
things.
junk from
Yeah.
those things that we put on garage sale. We're like, we used this one time, it didn't even work.
Yeah.
Why did we had a lot of collected junk, Ninja blender, all this big bulky stuff. That we
Lovely
know,
things.
yeah, like electricity doesn't even work the same way, so we wouldn't be able to use those. So we just have to sell those. I feel, it was a little bit difficult to let go of those things. Some of those things.
And some of them were gifts and things. It's like,
Yeah. But we let them go,
And we also researched, like, because we had no idea. We never knew anything about Uganda, hardly. So it was like, okay, what do they have there that we can purchase when we get there?
Right.
You know, what can we give up now and get when we get there? You know, things like that. It's like, okay, they've got blenders, they've got all these things, you know. And there were some things where we're just like, oh, I'm sure they don't have these things, and didn't even look them up, and then sure enough, they have them. So it's like,
we started, okay, at January, let's say February, we started going into the, browsing at Walmart and other places. Okay, we need a lot of luggages. Let's see how we can get matching luggages.
because we were gonna use all the luggages that they would give, you know, for free or with the flights. If it's international flight, you have like 2 luggages per person per like seat, and then 1 luggage for an infant, like on the lap.
Yeah, so we're like,
Plus
okay,
carry-on,
we
stuff
would
like
need about, because it was 6 of us, we need about 12 luggages or 13 luggages.
Because our children were too small to like have carry-ons, so we're like, we're gonna be carrying them.
Right.
So we need to check everything we can.
So I went to Walmart, we went to all these places, and it turns out during that time, when February comes along, people are already planning their trips to go to for their spring break. You know, they already plan ahead. They get the luggages sold out. Everything is just empty in those aisles. I'm like, are you kidding me? We went to the one in the bigger city. Their luggages are also, everyone is, the luggages are gone. So we ordered online.
Yeah,
we ordered online. Like, how do we get the same matching one, even if it's not the same? Give me this one and this one.
And we found some in bulk, actually.
Right.
So you could buy like 4 of them or 8 of them all at once. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, so we finally did that. It's time to actually start packing. Because we have a deadline on the house. We had to, so then we had to do garage sale. At least get rid of a lot of the things we don't need.
Had to publicize that and try
yeah.
selling stuff already on like, what is it?
Facebook Marketplace.
Craigslist, stuff like that.
But the farm equipment are those ones that remain, because we're like sustainability, we have to use this equipment. Some of them we sold them in garage sale, plus the other stuff, junk that we don't need. We have a lot of, we bought some new furniture so that we can take very beautiful photos inside the furniture and decor of the sitting room or the entire house. We will show you guys so that it looks beautiful enough to put on the market. And of course, it looks so good that we got a buyer for it almost right away. You know,
Beautiful photos, by the way. Do we still have
so
those?
beautiful. Yes,
Those are very
I even
nice.
have a walkthrough. But as soon as we got the buyer, we sold all the furniture. We left some things for the guy. He bought some things.
Yeah.
So the house is looking so empty now. The couch is gone. What else is gone? The bench is gone. Yeah, no one has bought the table yet, so maybe soon. Anyways, it's looking more empty in here. At the end there, towards the end there, we had to actually give a lot to Goodwill and, you know, all those thrift stores because we couldn't sell them or whatnot.
And some stuff we gave away that I was like, oh no, we were supposed to pack it. But
Yeah.
those sort of things
We
happen.
had to think about how much books to pack. We had 1 or 2 luggages dedicated to books, and we couldn't. So we had to choose very carefully which books we were packing. So we packed the water bill, the gas bill, the internet, and the
Phone. Another
so
thing
we-
is your subscriptions.
yeah,
You gotta go through all those, cancel all
and
those
cancel
things.
them. Plan on the day to shut off water, shut off gas, Vectran, and all of those things, all those bills. So
If you have Amazon subscriptions,
Yeah, we-
anything like that, you don't want your monthly
Right.
things showing up and you're not there and you're like, wow,
That's true,
that's
yeah.
a waste of money.
And then our mail too. We started thinking, how do we forwarding email? You know, no,
So
forwarding mail
getting
rather.
a virtual mailbox is very useful. There's a couple of different ones. There's like, what is it, global mail, there's US, global, there's all these different virtual mailboxes. So we chose one that fit for us. And yeah, you pay a subscription and then you forward your mail there. And then they scan them if you want them scanned, but they can show you like which ones they are, all this kind of stuff. Anyways,
Right.
so that's been very helpful. They can also cash checks for you. They can also package stuff together and send them to you wherever you are in the world for a pretty good price. So that's what we've been using even till now. It's been very helpful. So yeah, that's something we had to research.
Yeah, and one thing that we learned the hard way is
leading up to going was going through everything that we had that needed you needed passwords and stuff to get into. So like all of your banks, all of your credit cards, all those things, see what things you should close, see what things you should have open. If you need access to those things, make sure that you have other means, because nowadays using your phone, right, and having your phone number, like you said, is so important. And if you don't have that, like some of your banks might not even offer any way to get into the app except the phone number.
And also the fact that you're outside the US, a lot of things wouldn't work anymore. Yeah, to especially to contact those. Yeah, check on it and also contact those banks and let them know that even if you contact them, it will still happen that you won't be able to have access to some of these bank accounts. You have to call them in the US and tell them, hey guys, I'm out of country.
And that was difficult. Even though I had talked to them and said, hey, yeah, we're traveling, we're moving, whatever. Yeah. They were like, yeah, it'll be fine. But then when you get on the ground in country, they're like, oh, you have an ATM limit. Oh, you have this. Oh, you're out of the country. Oh, we flagged it because you're in Africa. Yeah. And it's like, great. By the way, if you go to Africa, they're gonna flag everything.
You get flagged.
Because they don't trust Africans. It's pretty imbalanced for sure.
Health insurance. So Pablo then stopped working, gave his resignation and all that. And but then there are decisions about health insurance, because from his job they would deposit money into the health insurance and he pays some too. So now that he's no longer working there, he will either be paying for it, but we're like, what is the purpose of it? Right. Do they have health insurance in where we're going? I suppose we would do it as we go. Like if there's something happens, we will actually have to pay up front. So we're saying,
right, if you have a broken arm or something, you pay, $30, $40, $50, and voila,
So there wasn't it doesn't make any sense to have health insurance, so we had to cancel that. We have a deadline on this house that we've already sold. We told this guy, give us 30 more days. It wasn't the agreement. After he buys it, give us 30 days to vacate the place so that we pack our things and then go.
So we scheduled it, organized everything just right, to where he would take possession the same day that we were gonna go off. So yeah, flights. Also be looking at where the closest international flights to whatever place you're going is. In our case, there's no direct flights from US to Uganda anywhere, and so we had to look for the best one. For us, Ethiopian was the best, and it was out of the closest area we could find, which was Chicago. So we're like, okay, so we have to do logistics, and you have to think of housing all along the way.
Right.
And food, because oh my gosh, because we're making our own fresh food. Oh gosh, it was a lot of work.
It was not easy.
But yeah, we had to do logistics to figure out, okay, how can we sell our house, vacate our house on the same day with a moving truck, with all the luggages in it. We had to go to Chicago, and then we had to have Airbnb there. So we had already made contact.
And we made contact already, during all of this research, we made contact in Uganda. And this is a woman on YouTube, our good friend, Princess Jane Yiga. She was so welcoming. She basically helped us to find an apartment where we can stay.
She even visited it for us, took a video of it,
and showed us the video. And it's because of her we found a place where we stayed in Kampala when we arrived. And then we paid, we contacted the landlord.
we had to figure out how to transfer at least some of the money as a down payment. But again, you have to make sure, very, very sure that what you're paying for is what you're going to get. You have to be very sure, because we actually showed up and they had already given that apartment or that duplex to someone else and gave us the other side, which was a bit smaller. So, but she did her best and she helped us a lot without even knowing us. So we're very thankful for that. But yeah, you have to know, okay, where you're going to stay long term. In our case, it was like, we want to go out of Kampala. We don't like cities. Right,
but we have to be on ground to be able to do that part. So we have to stay there in Kampala while we go and look for a place in the smaller town. And now let's go back. We pack our bags, and it's the day to hand over the keys. And we got in, you went to the U-Haul to get a big old U-Haul.
The day we left, left our home.
And all of this while, there was nobody to help us. It was just Pablo and me. We stayed up all night renovating the house while the kids were sleeping. We painted, we did backsplash, we did all of this. And while you come back from work and then you would still do what? I take care of 4 kids. Both of us, we had to take turns on Anyways, and then we had to pack, just the two of us. Nobody was helping us. So we packed these things. It was the day to leave. You got the U-Haul. I will drive the van. When that happened, there was a lot of chaos happening. And guys, I'm taking you along in this stress level. It was rising and rising. And we drove, and here comes Chicago. We're driving to Chicago. Our Airbnb in Chicago. Then what happened after that? Then we had the one last hurrah where all the family members who are near and far, near Chicago, they came, my side of the family, your side of the family, they came together.
And you can see that video here as well.
They came together and wished us good luck.
Yeah, they had beautiful well wishes and everything. It was very, very nice. And a lot of that family I hadn't seen in 20 years.
And so they showed up. They all showed up. We were so thankful for them. We cried, and yeah. Ooh, like last time in America. And then after they left, I think the following day, or is it the same day, we had to go and sell the van, the Odyssey at Carvana. So we sold it. And how did we get back to the place?
Uber.
We took Uber?
Yeah, it was Chicago, so you had Ubers everywhere.
We took Uber.
So we are now homeless and without a vehicle.
And it was the day before, and then we had to do one final pack. Make sure all the luggages are of weight so that it's not too heavy. So
and return the U-Haul and everything.
It's just the two of us, guys. Well, we have 4 kids, 4 years and under.
Aquí estamos, ¿no? Tenemos un montón de equipaje. Ya se han registrado varios. Sí, el equipaje. Hola, chicos. Hoy no me siento bien. Oh, Rafa, ¿qué tal?
But
all the while, we're thinking ahead already, thinking, okay, once we get to Uganda, where are we gonna stay for the first in Entebbe, and then who's gonna pick us at the airport? All those things. So Pablo did logistics and found a company that does that brings people from the airport to where they need to go. So we're still in Chicago, and
making all the snacks and foods and stuff to bring for the kids and for us.
Wait, how did we get to the airport?
We got to the airport via Uber, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
We had to get 2.
Yeah, I was in an Uber, and then you were not in the same one as me, as the kids, me and the kids.
Right. So I had to get one like van Uber
for
and
the
fill it up with
luggages.
luggages. And then the other one was
for the kids, just a small sedan. So it was the day of going. We got ourselves ready because we've missed the flight before. We know what it's like. We wouldn't miss that flight. Oh my gosh. We got really early in the morning. It was very early.
Oh, and I was sick. I'm always sick. Every time we're doing any sort of like flights or something, I'm always sick.
It was a lot of stress. I know. So we got to the airport on time, and we knew we had a lot of luggages this time. We have to be prepared. So we got there with our 15, how many luggages? With a long one and a 13, 14, 13?
Something like that, 13, 14, yeah.
Plus a baby bag and plus a car seat.
We managed it.
Plus stroller. Anyways, it was...
Wearing my cowboy hat because I didn't know where to put it.
And I was wearing my hat too because I didn't know where to put it. Anyways, it was a
lot.
Stress.
It was a lot.
And then we walked through the Chicago
with the little 1-year-old.
Yeah. O'Hare Airport. And yeah, they look at our luggages. They're like, "Oh, you're good to go." And there we began. They were on Ethiopian airline, and then and it was about 18. How many hours flight? We slept. We woke up. We ate. And then we're in Ethiopia, and it just felt like a whole new world. Like, oh gosh, this is. And they're speaking all these different languages.
I saw the toilets, and I was like, "This is like Wakanda."
Yeah, it's like futuristic.
I was like, oh my gosh, the technology, it's so different. It's so
different.
Yeah, it was amazing. But the thing is, we stayed there it was a 7-hour layover.
It was 7 hours.
And we knew it was going to be tough, but it was tough. It was tough.
By this time, the kids were so tired. They wouldn't even move. They were like rag dolls on the floor. I'm like, come on, let's go. And the kids, they're all crying at the same time for us to pick them up. And I have a luggage and I have a child and I'm pulling another one and you have the same thing. And we have 4 children. The other 2 are crying to be picked up.
Oh man.
And
some of them were just like lying on the floor. I think it was Tulio.
Tulio was crying.
Like lying on the floor.
And people were looking at us.
And we're just like, we're just trying to go from one gate to the other. Come on, guy. Come on, you can manage. But
it was so tired.
And the
jet lag.
The jet lag.
And I get it. By the time we got there, anyways, and then we got to our next flight. We ate some Ethiopian food at the...
Took me forever to find it.
Yeah.
Everything was burgers.
So we got there, and then we got to Entebbe airport. We got out of the plane, they checked us, the immigration checked us, they checked our visa or whatnot, gave us visa and all that. We got out of the airport, it was already 6 or 7 p.m. in the evening. and it was already getting dark. And then there's the guy with the sign, Familia Pablanu, and we went into the van, and there's this sign that said, "Welcome to the Pearl of Africa," and that was and it took us to the Airbnb in Entebbe.
I think
Oh my
having a lot of
gosh.
little children, a lot of people step up and help you out,
They helped, they
especially in African continents, definitely.
Oh my gosh. But now, I'm sorry guys, but I'm a little hyperventilating because I'm relieving the stress that
Yeah.
it took. I think I had more gray hair in my head as soon as we arrived here because of all the stress. We paid off our debt of the credit and all of that.
Which was a beautiful thing, finally. We were able to pay off all of our debts before leaving because
Right, and then
we don't want to be in debt again.
and we're debt free, and we're like, yes, now we are going to start our life sustainability. Here we come.
Yes. And
Yeah.
by the way, quick note, freeze all of your credit lines, whatever, freeze all of that. Make sure you have special passwords, everything for all of that. Make sure you are setting up your taxes, ready to know what taxes are going to be like that next year. Look into all of those things before you leave, and make sure you have all the passwords, everything you need, because it's a lot of wala, it's a lot of work if you don't have that. The IRS did something with us where I had to like call just to get things through. So make sure you have an address in your home country, if it's the US in particular. Make sure you have a home address. Don't just remove that home address, because some of your banks will say, okay, we're gonna shut down your accounts if you don't
if you
have
don't
this.
have
So talk to a relative, close friend, something like that, just to have, like, use their address or something, just to have something that's there.
Right.
Also for voting, if you're gonna vote, stuff like that.
Thank you so much for watching. But until next time, we say double. Bye. Adios.
Ciao. Gracias.